98.6 मेगाहर्ज।
यो हो रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज, आवाज विश्वासको।
बिहानको 10 बज्यो। यो समय घरमै बसेर सुनेर पढ्न मिल्ने कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलको हो। नमस्कार हाम्रा प्रिय विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरू सबैजनालाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा हामी हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दछौं। कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल लकडाउनको बेला विद्यालय बन्द हुँदा शिक्षण सिकाइ क्रियाकलापबाट विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू वञ्चित हुनु नपरोस् भनेर तयार पारिएको सिकाइ सहजीकरण कार्यक्रम हो। यो कार्यक्रम मेचीनगर नगरपालिकाको सहयोग एवं शिक्षक महासंघ प्याप्सन तथा एनप्याप्सन मेचीनगरको समन्वयमा उत्पादन गरिएको हो। भाइ बहिनीहरू, आजबाट औपचारिक रूपमा रेडियो कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई थाहै छ, हामी आइतबारदेखि शुक्रबारसम्म कक्षा 5 देखि 10 सम्मका भाइ बहिनीहरूका निमित्त रेडियो कक्षा प्रसारण गर्छौं। आज आइतबार सबै तहहरूमा अंग्रेजी विषयको कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। 10 बजेदेखि 10:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ भने 10:30 बजेदेखि 11 बजेसम्म कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदा 11 बजेदेखि 11:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज रेडियो साथीको फेसबुक टाइमलाइन तथा अनलाइन radiosathi.com लगइन गरेर पनि कार्यक्रम सुन्न सक्नुहुनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि विषय विज्ञ शिक्षकजीहरूबाट कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। त्यसैले कापी कलम लिएर रेडियो सुन्दै टिपोट गर्दै पढौं है त।
My dear students, today we are going to start the lesson from Radio Sathi. In this contest, I am Indra Dhungana from North Point Secondary School and I am going to start the tense today. You know, generally we can divide the tense into 3 parts: present, past and future. Simply, present tense is defined with the action of the time of the present time, and this tense can be again divided into 4 parts: simple present, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Now, my student, let me listen to the first simple present tense. Simple present tense generally takes 2 types of verbs. One, we say generally V5 that takes is or es. Another V1 that is called root verb also. Now, I am going to write one sentence. You can listen to me carefully. This sentence represents simple present tense with the V5. Ram goes to school. Again, Ram goes to school. Here, Ram is a singular subject and it takes goes, not go, goes, and to school is the place. So, Ram goes to school is an example of present simple or simple present tense. Similarly, another example of V1 that also represents simple present tense: they go to school. You can say Ram goes to school, but they go to school. Why? Because they is a plural subject that does not take V5, that takes V1. So, they go, but Ram goes. There is the difference between 2 sentences. These 2 sentences are the examples of simple present tense. And, dear student, we can change these sentences into negative form also. Look at the first sentence, Ram goes to school. I am going to change this sentence into negative form. Now, Ram does not go to school. Ram does not go to school. Why? Goes means V5. So, we have to write auxiliary verb does. And for the negative, not, does not. Now, we have to remove es and go only. Ram does not go to school then. It is a negative sentence. It is also simple present, but in negative form. Similarly, they go to school. I have already written one example. Did you listen? Yes, you listened, I hope. Then, here, we are going to change this into negative. They don't go to school. Why does not here? Why don't here? Because here is not V5. Here is V1. So, we don't write does not. We write don't. They don't go to school. This is also another example of negative form of the simple present tense. So, I have told you two negative sentences for the simple present tense. Similarly, my dear student, I am going to change these two sentences for the yes no question also in the present simple tense. Ram goes to school. Now I am going to change this into yes no question. Does Ram go to school? Why? Why does? Yes, we have to take the does in front of the sentence to make the yes no question. So, does Ram go to school? This is an example of yes no question for the simple present tense. Similarly, for the next sentence, they go to school. I am changing this into yes no question. Do they go to school? This is also an example of simple present tense in the yes no question form. Now, student, all these sentences are related to the simple present tense in statement form or positive form or affirmative form, you say, in different name, and another negative form and another yes no question form. Now, I am going to write another sentence. Ram eats rice. Simple sentence. It is the beginning day, so I have not written difficult sentences because it is generally for lower secondary level 5, 6. So I have not written difficult sentence to you, so you can easily understand my teaching. Now, Ram eats rice. Here, eats is V5. Now, I am going to change this into passive voice in the present simple tense. I have to take this rice into the front part. Rice. Rice is a singular, uncountable also and singular also. So, we have to write be verb is. And we have to change this into BQ. Eat at eaten. BQ. Because passive voice needs BQ. So, rice is eaten by Ram is another sentence. It is in passive voice in the simple present tense. Yes, why I could not make Ram goes to school into passive? There is the question. Student could raise the question in their mind, in your mind. Ram goes to school. Here in this sentence, there is no object because goes cannot take the object. So, without object, we cannot change the passive voice. So, I have written another sentence for the same tense to change this into passive voice. So, Ram eats rice and rice is eaten by Ram. Is eaten. Is eaten is also present tense, but in passive voice. Now, summarizing the form up to here, I have taught you simple present tense in the form of V5, in the form of V1, and its negative form, its yes no question form, and passive form. Did you understand? Yeah, I hope you understood. Now again I would like to repeat one sentence for you. This Ram eats rice. This is a sentence that belongs to the simple present tense, which is in active voice. Now I have changed this into passive. Rice is eaten by Ram. So this is passive voice but in simple present tense. You should understand. If this rice, in place of rice there would be plural form, and we have to change this is into are. Singular takes is, plural takes are, and V should be as usual, eat at eaten. Then rice is eaten by Ram is the passive voice in simple present tense. Now my dear student, I am going to write next sentence to make you understand about it. In what condition we can write and speak simple present tense? First of all, student, yes, you know, there are certain time adverbs like always, generally, usually, occasionally, normally, often, or often also we say, often, always, nowadays, every day. Such frequency, they denote the simple present tense. I am going to write one sentence using this yes, adverbs, time adverbs. He always goes to school. Yes, here always. If there is always, then it always shows the present time. Because he has the habit of going to school, he always goes to school. You cannot say he always went to school. You cannot say. He is always going to school, also not possible. It is, if you speak correct English, then you have to say he always goes to school. Always takes either V1 or V5. If subject is singular, then you have to say, you have to write, you have to speak goes. But if I change this subject into they, then you have to say they always go to school. That's why, student, in place of always we can write generally also, usually also, occasionally also, normally also, often also. In this condition we have to speak or we have to write simple present tense to correct your English. Now, student, you might have understood what I have told you, what I have taught you, student. Now I am going to start the present continuous tense for your best. First structure of this sentence, of this tense, is subject is, am, are plus verb ing. Object, sometimes object is not present, generally it is present. So subject, if the subject is singular, you write is and verb ing. If you write the subject I, then am should be used. If you write plural subject, then you have to write are, and verb should be written in ing form. I am writing 3 different examples of this structure. Look at, he is reading a book. He is reading a book. Listen, he is reading a book. He is a singular subject, so we write is. Then from read ing, reading. A book is an object, so he is reading a book is one of the examples of present continuous tense with the singular subject. Now I am writing I is singular but it is first person, so it it is only the subject that takes aim and reading a book. I am reading a book is another sentence that belongs to the present continuous, or it is also called progressive tense also. Now I am giving you another example of present continuous tense using plural subject. For example, they are reading a book. My dear student, you have been listening to me, okay? Now they are reading a book. In this context, you know, they is plural subject, so auxiliary verb is are, and from reading a book is object. That's why there are three different sentences I have written. All these sentences belong to the present continuous tense. First example, he is reading a book. He is singular, then is reading. Second example, second sentence, I takes am, only I am reading a book. And the third is they are reading a book. These three different sentences belong to the present continuous tense. Now, in what condition we have to use this tense? I'm going to teach you something about it. Look at, first of all, listen. The word listen takes ing form or present continuous tense. Similarly, look, another. Similarly, now, another. Another still also. At the moment, yes. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Generally, these 5 different words take present continuous tense normally in our writing form, in our speaking form. Now I am giving example of is this expression, like number 1, by using listen. By using listen, I am writing one sentence. Listen, the boy is crying. Look at, listen, the boy is crying. सुन्नुहोस् त, बच्चा कराउँदैछ. Understand? At the time of listening, the boy is crying. So listen takes ing form. Now listen, the boy is crying. It belongs to the air. Listen means air. Similarly, another example, look. Look, your father is coming. Your father is coming. Now, look, that belongs to the eyes. At the time of looking, your father is coming. That means, when you look, your father is coming. So, look also takes present continuous tense. Look, your father is coming. Similarly, now it's raining. Now it's raining means it is raining also. Construction, it's construction. If there is no construction, we write it is, no problem. Now it is raining or it's raining. From your house inside you can see outside there is raining. You can say, now mom, now it is raining. You can say. So this is another example of present continuous tense. Similarly, student, now another still also, another word still also can be used. Yes, it's still snowing. It's still snowing. It started snowing from few past. Now it is still snowing. It is not stopped. So still also takes present continuous tense. Similarly, at the moment also, like this, we can write present continuous tense using these types of words, expression of the words, and we can correct the present continuous tense, student. Now, I am going to tell you how can we change these sentences into negative and yes no question. Look at, I am writing another sentence. They are writing an essay. Listen, they are writing an essay. Now I am going to change this into negative form of the present continuous. Just you add not, are not. They are not writing an essay. It is an easy way of doing, easy way of changing from positive to negative or affirmative to negative. Now, in this way, we can change the sentence into yes no question also. They are writing an essay. Are they writing an essay? Yes, rising tone. Are they writing an essay? Yes, rising tone means finally you have to raise the sound, your pitch. Are they writing an essay? Are they writing an essay? Not possible. Are they writing an essay? You have to say in this way. So, we can change this sentence into yes no question form also. They are writing an essay, first time negative. They are writing an essay. And now, are they writing an essay is the yes no question form. So, present continuous tense is very important in our life because we have to do some works at our home also, and suppose your mother is carrying some water. You can say, what is your mother doing? She is carrying water. You can say. Your father is coming from outside to the inside home. Then what is your father doing? Your father is coming home. Like this situation we can build at home and we can do our business. Student, now just I am going to tell another sentence, another tense, that is present perfect. Student, present perfect tense always shows the effect. Present perfect tense always shows the effect. I hope, my dear student, you are understanding. Now, I am going to write one structure regarding to the tense, present perfect tense. Subject, have or has. Sometimes have, sometimes has, plus BQ or past participle form of the verb. For example, if there is plural subject like they, we have to write have. They have seen the sea. Yes, they have seen the sea. In this sentence, student, subject is they and they is plural, so it has taken have, and see, saw, seen, BQ, seen. The object is the sea. Now, they have seen the sea. They have seen the sea is an example of present perfect tense with the plural verb. Similarly, I am writing another sentence with the singular form of the subject, like she has seen the sea. Same sentence can be taken. Just we have to change the subject. Now they to change into she. Now you have to change into has. Because they is plural, it has taken this have. Now she is singular and it has taken has. Just difference. So she has seen the sea. These two sentences belong to the present perfect tense. Student, now we can change these sentences also into negative form, into yes no question form. Listen, first of all I am changing this into negative form. They have not seen the sea. Yes, because have is an auxiliary verb and not is added here to make it negative. They have not seen the sea. Yes, this is the negative form of the present perfect tense. Similarly, the second sentence I had already written, that is she has not seen the sea. Just what we have done? We have just added the not to change this into negative. Similarly, I am going to change these two sentences, front two sentences, into yes no question form. Have they seen the sea is another example of yes no question. Another Has she seen the sea is another example. So these two sentences are related to the yes no question, but the tense is the same, present perfect. Now this tense is written or spoken in this condition. I am going to tell you something, that is when there is just, when there is already student, when there is yet, when there is ever. In this condition we write, we speak this present perfect tense. Let's say I am writing one sentence using just, using already, using at, and using ever. Listen, first one using just. He has just gone out. Look at, he has just gone out. What is the subject? He. What has taken he singular then has, and just in the middle. Be cube has middle just. Be cube gone has auxiliary in the middle just. He has just gone out. Go, went, gone. Be cube. Similarly, another one, they have already finished their duty. Student, I have written next sentence using already. Look at, they is subject and they plural also have. In place of just we have written already. Finished is VQ, their duty is objective. So they have already finished their duty, also an example of present perfect tense. Similarly, I am going to take you another word, that is yet. She has not done her homework yet. In this sentence, subject is she, has not done VQ, her homework yet. That means yet always takes negative form. Yet ले negative मात्र लिन्छ present perfect मा. त्यही भएर I have written here, I have used not, has not done her homework yet. Yet is usually used at the last of the sentence. So she has not done her homework yet. This is an example of present perfect tense using at. Now the last one is ever. Student, have you ever seen the Taj Mahal? Yes, I have written one sentence. Have you ever seen, not visited, I can change. Visited, I can change. Have you ever visited the Taj Mahal? I have written next sentence. Yes, ever. Here I have not used just, I have not used here already, I have not used here yet, but I also takes present perfect tense, but in the question form only. In the question form only. That's why I have written have auxiliary in front of the sentence to make the question. Have you ever visited the Taj Mahal? The question. So look at, he had just gone out. They have already finished their duty. She has not done her homework yet. Have you ever visited the Taj Mahal? I have given you 4 different examples of present perfect tense. In this condition, we have to use them present perfect tense. Now, I am going to change them into the passive voice also. Yes, look at here. Ram has eaten 3 mangoes. He may be hungry, so Ram has eaten 3 mangoes. Now 3 mangoes is the object. When we are changing this into passive, then take them in front. 3 mangoes. Now plural, so have been. 3 mangoes have been eaten. Eaten by Ram. Yes, 3 mangoes is the object, so that is taken in front of the sentence. 3 mangoes is plural form. 1, 2, 3, countable noun. So have been. This has is changed into have, and been is additional thing. that is necessary for changing this into passive voice from active one. That's why 3 mangoes have been eaten by Ram is another example of this passive voice of the present perfect tense, student. Now we have completed these 3 parts of the present tense. Now final phase of the present tense. Listen, that is present perfect continuous. Yes, present perfect continuous, the final part of this present tense. Listen, this is also called the tense of duration. Tense of duration. Yes, listen, first of all I am going to tell you one structure of this tense. Subject, have or has plus been plus verb ing. Object sometimes not possible, generally possible. So I have told you subject can be taken or not also. Yes, now hear you. Now I am going to write 2 different sentences regarding to this example, this structure. Now number 1, listen, she has been learning English grammar. Yeah, she has been learning English grammar. In this sentence, student, she is singular, so has been learning English grammar. So this is one example of present perfect continuous tense. Has been learning, learning. She singular, so has, and been is according to structure. Been is required, been is needed for the present perfect continuous tense, then ing, learning. Now another example, they have been teaching English grammar. Yeah, they have been teaching English grammar. They is plural, so have been teaching English grammar. Look at, they is plural, so have been, have is necessary here, have is required here, been is one of the addition of this present perfect tense, and teach, teaching, from teach, teaching English grammar. So this tense is generally used in this condition. Now I am going to tell you in what condition we have to use this tense in our practical life. Look at, now you have listened for and since, these two preposition you have heard. Now remember, this for takes plural time, since always singular time. So for is used for period of time, and since is used for point of time. Student, point of time since, period of time for. Point of time means singular time, that is singular means 1 o'clock. Someone said 1 o'clock, someone said, that is 2065, someone say May 10, like this time called point of time. But period of time is plural, like, yes, 1 minute means 60 seconds, so 1 minute also plural. So we can divide this into small units of time. So 1 minute also plural we call, because 60 seconds it means. Now 2 hours and 3 days, 4 months, like this. Plural time is called period of time. So when we write present perfect continuous tense, then we have to use either for or since to make the correct language. Now listen, I am going to write 2 different sentences using for and since. Look at, she has been teaching for 20 years. Look at, she has been teaching for 20 years. In this condition, student, 20 years is plural, for is used here, and has been teaching is the present perfect continuous tense. For, present perfect continuous tense. Similarly, I am writing another sentence using since. He has been learning French language since 2064 BS. Now, he has been learning French language since 2064 BS. Now, 2064 means singular time or point of time, and since preposition is used here, but the tense is the same, that is present perfect continuous. So this present perfect continuous can be used for two conditions, for and since. So today, student, what we have done, let me remember, I have just started tense today, and there are three types of tense: present, past and future, and I have taught you today present tense. In present tense, I have taught you four branches of this present tense. First, simple present or present simple also said. This is said in this way. I have given you so many examples. It can be used in affirmative sentence, negative sentence, yes no question, WH question, passive voice. Similarly, I have taught you present continuous tense, that is subject is MR plus verb ing, object also sometime, and I have given some examples. This tense also can be used in passive, negative and yes no question, I have told you. Similarly, I have taught you present perfect. Present perfect is structure with subject have has plus VQ plus object, and I have given you example. You should not forget, if there is subject plural, have, subject singular has, and VQ, you have to write VQ at any cost. Now finally, I have told you this present perfect continuous, and I have given you one structure, subject plus have has plus been verb ing, and I have given you two examples, and this tense is generally written using since or for. Since for point of time, for period of time. And we have completed this lesson today, present tense. If you like it, you can contact me. Yes, our Sathi Radio will provide you phone number, and we can give your solutions in next class. Thank you. Goodbye.
भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई फेरि स्वागत छ कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा। तपाईहरूले भर्खरै कक्षा 5 र 6 का लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षा सुनिसक्नु भएको छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023 563 037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 7 र 8 का भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षाहरू सञ्चालन गर्दैछौं। कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस् है त।
Hello and namaste everybody. Welcome you in this radio, a classroom beyond the school program. My name is Diliram Bandari. Today we are going to start English class for standard 7 and 8. I am going to start grammar section today. In this class we learn parts of speech. Dear students, you might not be wondering what is parts of speech. It is a very common topic for class 7 and 8. You might have known already this. You are familiar with this word. Dear students, I believe you are ready with your copy and a pen. If not, please do quick and come closer to the radio set. Okay, now you are ready. Before starting parts of speech, I prefer to remind you about sentences. It is a very important part of a grammar, and it is part of a language. Without a sentence, we cannot express our feelings in English. What is a sentence? You might know the meaning, you might know the definition of a sentence. Can you tell me what is a sentence? Can you make a good sentence in English? Yes, you are right. Very simple sentences we can make here. I am playing volleyball. I am ready to go radio class. So these are very common sentences. And a long sentence, we play football and get proper rest in the ground. It is a bit longer sentence. When we speak or write, we use word in a group. That means a group of words which make complete meaning is called a sentence. It gives a sensible meaning. A group of words which does not give us complete meaning or sensible meaning, we cannot regard, we cannot say this is a sentence because it does not give a sense. It has no meaning at all. It means we can make a sentence using many words, but it should give us sensible meaning. That is only called a sentence. Dear students, you might have known what is sentence, and this is just a reminder for you so that you could understand what is the parts of speech. To understand parts of speech, we should know sentences. If we can read, if we can understand what is sentence, then definitely we can divide them into different parts of speech. So I would like to remind a little about the kinds of sentences. Dear students, you might have known already what is sentence. Now we are saying the types of sentences, the kinds of sentences. Number one is assertive sentence. That is also called declarative sentence, or it is called statement, a plain sentence that gives a sensible meaning. Can I give one example to you? We study in grade 7, or we study in grade 8. This is an assertive sentence. Second kind is interrogative sentence. That is also called a question sentence. Dear students, do you know what is question? Yes, where we can use question marks. That is called interrogative or question sentence. Are you in grade 8? This seems question. Yes, of course. This is a question. So, imperative sentence is the third kind of sentence where we use command or entreaty. You know what is imperative? This is the third kind of sentence. Here, in this imperative sentence, it gives command to someone. One good example to understand this: tell me about yourself. This is a command or request. Tell me about yourself. Can I have a pen, please? Tell me about yourself. Go and get a glass of water. These are the examples of command or imperative sentences. The fourth sentence is exclamatory sentence, which gives exclamation, a surprise, and it expresses strong feelings. Ouch! My stomach is paining. The ouch, and we use here exclamation sign. Okay, the I, the small I, the downwards. Okay, this is the sign of exclamation. So, ouch, my stomach is paining. This is good example of exclamatory sentence. So there is optative sentence. and we are not reading this, but this has been used. And here the example for this optative sentence is, may God help you. This is an example of optative sentence. This is wish. It helps to express wish, choice, etc. So anyway, dear students, I believe that now you have understood what is sentence and what are the types of sentences. I am going to give some task or work for you about sentences. So students, whatever the important thing I teach you here, please write those in your copy. These days we are staying at home. We feel safe at home. We cannot go to school. And through radio, you are learning from your own home. So, okay dear students, this might have helped you to remind about sentences and its types. In this radio program, you can share with your friends and you can have live class from Sathi FM radio Facebook. So today we are going to distinguish or recognize the words those are used in a sentence, which is called parts of speech. And this is the main topic that we are going to discuss today. What is parts of speech? How can we divide a sentence into different parts of speech? How can we recognize them in a sentence? So this is the topic for today's class. Today we are going to distinguish. This means we recognize, okay, a sentence and the words used in those sentences. In other words, we can say words used in a sentence are divided into different kinds or classes, which are called parts of speech. But the words are divided according to their work they do in a sentence. Sometimes a same word which is working as a noun could be verb in a sentence. It means according to their work in a sentence, we can divide them into different names. Dear students, we can divide the parts of speech into 8 number. There are 8 parts of speech. Number 1 is, dear students, please note down these parts of speech in your copy. Are you ready? Yes. I believe you are writing the parts of speech in your copy. Number 1 is noun. It is very common word for all the students. Noun. Number 2 is adjective. Second is adjective. Number 3 is pronoun. Number 4 is verb. Number 5 is adverb. Verb, then adverb. Number 6 is preposition. Number 7 is conjunction. Number 8 is interjection. Number 8 is interjection. We can divide the words used in a sentence accordingly. Dear students, I am going to revise the parts of speech here. Please check them out. Noun, adjective, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Okay, so we can write down all these words in a copy. We try to understand definition of each of the parts of speech. Noun. What is noun? Yes, it is a simple definition. It is a word used as the name of a person, example Ram and Sita, place, Mechinagar and Java, or thing, pen, copy, mobile, etc. Akbar was a brave king. Here, Akbar is a noun because it is the naming word. Who is king? Akbar is a king. The rose smells sweet. The rose here is noun. Now, number 2, adjective. Adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun. Dear students, note down the definition. It will help you to remind when we are in off. Adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun, and it tells more about noun. For example, brave. Akbar was a brave king, and it has added something. It has added meaning to noun Akbar. Who was a brave king? Akbar. So here Akbar was a brave king. Here the brave is used as adjective. It adds something to the meaning of a noun. There are 4 boys in this classroom. Can you tell me what are the adjectives in this sentence? There are 4 boys in this classroom. Yes, students, 4 is an adjective, and there is another adjective too, that is this. There are 4 boys in this class. 4 and these are 2 adjectives used in this sentence. Number 3, pronoun. A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun or in place of noun. It replaces noun. That means we can use pronoun like he, she, it, they, myself in a sentence to replace the noun. A good example, dear students, we can have from here, Ram was absent because he was sick. Can you tell me where we have used pronoun here? Yes, Ram was absent because he was sick. So here we have used he to denote Ram. Instead of Ram, in place of Ram, we have used he. So this has become a pronoun. This also helps to minimize the repetition of noun. We cannot repeat Ram again because it already has been used at the first. So second example, dear students, the copies are where you left them. Can you tell me which is the pronoun here? Yes, you are right. There is them, T-H-E-M, them. So this is the pronoun in the second sentence. Dear students, noun, adjective, pronoun are already been completed. Let's go to another parts of speech, that is a verb. You know what is a verb? It is an action word. Whatever you are doing at home, these are the actions you do, and those actions are represented by the action words. And this writing form, we use the verb as a word used to express action or state. Please write an example. The girls wrote a letter. What did the girls write? She wrote a letter. And what is action here? Here the wrote is an action word. This is called verb. He is eating rice. What action is he doing? His action is about eating rice. Here eating rice is an action. So the eating denotes the action. So we can say eating is an action word or a verb. You play football. What are you doing? You are playing football. The playing, the gerund form, the V4 form is an action. Dear students, now next we are going to write what is an adverb. It is a word used to add something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective or another adverb. So it means it adds more meaning, it gives more meaning, and it adds meaning to a verb, adverb or adjective. So we can be clear from the example. He worked the sum quickly. Here quickly is an adverb. The flower is very beautiful. The beautiful itself is an adjective, but the word adds more meaning to its word adjective, so the very become an adverb. The flower is very beautiful. And dear students, number 6, we are reading about a preposition. Preposition is a word used with a noun or pronoun to show how the person or thing denoted by the noun or pronoun stands in relation to something else. Preposition. From its meaning itself, we can assume that it shows the position of something in relation to something. I'll give you more examples on it so that you can be clear on that. There is a cow in the garden. Dear students, here in this sentence, there is a cow in the garden. Where the cow is, what is the relation between the cow and the garden? It denotes from in. The cow is in the garden. Cow in the garden. So, it shows the position, preposition of cow. So, in is preposition here in this sentence. Okay, let's have another example. The girl is fond of music. And here, fond of music. Here, of is preposition. Dear students, please write down more prepositions. These are common prepositions so that you can repeat, remind and practice when you will have time at home. Dear students, please write down these words: under, towards, at, above, opposite, across, from, by, along, in front of, into, near, through, inside, between, of, within, until, below, behind, over, during, etc. These are the common prepositions that can be learned or reminded. Dear students, we are almost finishing our topic. Now we are reading about conjunction. It is a word which is used to join words or sentences. That means Ram and Hari are friends. Students, here it joins Ram and Hari. It joins either two sentences or two sentences or two words. So here and joins Ram and Hari. So and we can use this as a conjunction. I can run fast, but I am ill today. Here but is joining two phrases, two parts of a sentence. So this is known as conjunction. The students, now the last parts of speech is an interjection. Number 8. The students, please note down. Interjection is a word which expresses some certain feelings. For example, hurrah, we won the game. Here we use exclamation sign. Alas, she is dead. Alas, we use exclamation sign and she is dead. So where there is exclamation sign which expresses certain feelings, that is called interjection. In this way, in our class, we have studied or we have repeated the parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech. they have been completed today. Dear students, it is not enough for us to understand, but we need to practice a lot. You might have grammar book or English book at your home. You can do exercises based on today's topic. I am going to give some sentences. Please write down them and find out the types of sentences. This is suitable for both classes, class 7 and 8. Yes, can you please write down? In the first section of today's class, I taught you what is sentence and what are the types of sentences. So, you need to find out the types of sentence. Please write down the sentences and find the types of it. Can you jump that gate? How can we find out the types of this sentence? Here is a question mark, interrogation sign. If there is interrogation sign, then it is called interrogative sentence. If there is a question mark, then we can say it is a question sentence or interrogative sentence. Can you jump that gate? Yes, you can write the types of this sentence. Please write down another sentence, but I am not gonna to tell you what type of sentence is this. Number second is, his father is a doctor. His father is a doctor. Please write down its type. Number C, who broke the table? Question mark. Who broke the table? Question mark. Number D, how clever he is? Exclamation sign, please. Here give you exclamation sign. How clever he is. Number E or 5, whatever you write. Aryan is a Chinese singer. Aryan is a Chinese singer. Full stop. Number 6 or F. Come here. Full stop. Come here. Number G or number 7. Go and get a glass of water. Go and get a glass of water. Full stop. So, dear students, I read out here 7 sentences. Out of 7, I gave the answer for the first one. Can you jump that gate? Now the rest sentences are in your copy, and please make sure and write the types. The above are the practice based on the lesson I taught today. Here are more work or examples to practice on parts of a speech. The second part that I explained today are parts of a speech. Can you write down this question? Name the parts of speech of each in the following sentences. Name the parts of speech of each in the following sentences. I am going to ask you to highlight or underline the words. Please underline the words that I am going to tell you. Okay, write down some sentences. I am going to give you some task work so that you can consult your English teacher of your school or your surrounding to assess them or evaluate them. Question number 1 is, still waters run deep. Write down please. Still, S-T-I-L-L, still, underline that one or highlight that. Still waters run deep. Now you have to find out the underlined word. Which part of speech is this? Please find out the parts of speech of all the highlighted or underlined words in the given sentences. Number 2, He still lives in that house. He still lives in that house. Underline still, or you can highlight that. Number 3, after the storm comes the calm. After the storm comes the calm. C-A-L-M. Calm. Please underline after. A-F-T-E-R. After. Number 4, the after effects of drug are bad. Please underline after here. Please underline after. The after effects of the drug are bad. Number 5, the up train is late. The up train is late. Please underline up. Number 6, it weighs about a pound. It weighs about a pound. W-E-I-G-H-S. Please underline this word. Number 7, he told us all about the battle. Number 7, he told us all about the battle. Please highlight or underline about. Number 8, he was only a yard of me. He was only a yard of me. O-F-F, of me. Underline O-F-F, of. Number 9, suddenly one of the wheels came off. Suddenly one of the wheels came off. Underline O-F-F, off. The last word. Number 10, he kept the fast for a week. He kept the fast for a week. Here underline fast, F-A-S-T, fast. Number 11, Sita fasts in the month of Shravan. Sita fasts in the month of Shravan. Here also please underline or highlight F-A-S-T-S, fasts. Number 12, he is on the committee. He is on the committee. Here underline O-N, on. Let us move on. The number 13 sentence is let us move on. Here underline O-N, on. Number 14, sit down and rest for a while. Here underline while, W-H-I-L-E, while. Sit down and rest a while. I will watch while you sleep. I will watch while you sleep. Write down this. I will watch while you sleep. Underline while. Dear students, you can practice and consult or contact your English teacher of your school, of your surrounding, after you practice this work. And this much for today. Hope you listened and enjoyed today's class. The class ends here. Take care. See you.
भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरु अहिले कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023-536-037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अब आजको अन्तिम कक्षामा कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस्।
Okay, I invite everyone, the students of class 8, 9 and 10, quite close to the radio. We are here in radio school. Good morning. Today we are going to talk about English grammar, and today's subject topic is tense. Let's assume we have been doing so many things in our life. How do we express? We have so many things in our mind to do in future. How do we express? And what about your present realities? We use generally 3 different time frame to discuss about our events in life. What we are now, if we recall our experience, we go with past, and when we think about our assumption, what to do in future or time to come, we use future. So there lies 3 broader division of time according to our actions, and we interplay in between. Let's assume we are sitting in the class and think about your event just before or much more before. We are talking about the experience, so we use past for the distant action, whereas the nearby connected actions we use present perfect. When we think about the plannings that we have in our mind and our ambitions, what next after this? Then we use future. So time is divided into 3 broader categories, that is past, present and future. I'm hopeful you would be thinking about future and past from your very presence. You are now listening to the radio, but what you were doing before listening, or what you have planned to do after listening the radio, it talks about future. So we have 3 broader categories or divisions of the time. I'd mark you to understand these 3 broader divisions are further classified into 4 different phases. They are simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. That is to say, simple present, simple past, simple future. Similarly, past continuous, present continuous and future continuous. Similarly with perfect, past perfect, present perfect and future perfect. And the final one with perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous and future perfect continuous. These phases are classified in different expressions due to the change in time. Dear students, you will be surprised to know the slight change in time affects the action that result into one among these phases of time. Today we are going to talk about simple present tense. Have you ever thought you are supposed to do something and you are on the way to prepare, or we talk about the preparatory action? There we use simple present. Simple present tense goes on with 2 different forms of verbs. They are verb 1, for example, go, verb 1 is a plural form of verb that is simple present, and we use it with plural subjects. We have 7 different pronouns we use. Among them, we, they, you are taken as plural pronouns, plural subject. We use verb 1, for example, call, with these subjects as, let's make few sentences. We call them, they call us, you call him, and I call her. There might be the question in your mind, why do I use I call, though I is singular? That stands for one person, the speaker. I is taken as an exception, and it is habitually accepted with I. We use verb 1. That's why we have been using I call her as an exception. Similarly, the another form of verb is verb 5. Verb 5 is a singular and simple present form of verb. So it is used with singular subjects. They are he, she, and it. Let's make few sentences. He calls her, she calls him, it calls me. I want to recall the previous one. I used he calls, she calls, it calls, whereas we call, they call, you call, and I call. So we need to have a very clear understanding of plural subjects and singular subjects. All verb 5 forms are singular and they should be used with singular subjects. That is to say, he, she, it. Whereas all verb 1 forms are plural subjects, plural verbs, and they should be used with plural subjects. We, they, you. But I is an exception that takes plural form of verb, that is verb 1. Now I want to have close discussion or discourse on the use of simple present. There might be the question in the mind of the students, where to use simple present. I am here to address your query and satisfy your mind. First, context for using simple present is regular activities. If the regular activity is related to present time, then we use simple present. Like, I listen to the radio daily. I have used listen, L-I-S-T-E-N. He goes to the temple every day. I have used goes with he. Now you can go with she and it. With verb 5, that is goes. She goes to the temple every day, but we listen to the radio daily. They listen to the radio daily. Whereas she listens to the radio daily. He listens to the radio daily. I want to add some more. Let me give you some ideas about adverb of frequency. We have adverbs of frequency. They indicate regularity of the action, like always. I always remember you. Always indicates regularity of remembering. She never invites me. Never indicates regularly, not, usually, often, sometimes are also other adverbs of frequency that could be used with simple present if they are related to present time. I have given you some examples. Hari never does his homework. Ram often visits me. Here never and often are adverbs of frequency. Sometimes Sita visits me. Sometimes here is adverb of frequency. So whenever we get adverbs of frequency, they indicate regularity of the action. So they should be used with simple present if they are related to present context. Next context for using simple present is universal fact and truths. That is to say, the facts or the realities that is accepted by everyone within the country, within the territory, or in the world. Like, let me give you example to have a clear understanding of universal facts and truths. Earth revolves round the sun. Here, if you ask anyone about the movement of the earth, then they will be telling the same. If you ask the person from Nepal or from any place of the world, they will come up with the same reality. So revolves here, verb 5 is used because there lies earth. Let's have another example. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. If you ask anyone, they will be telling you the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So boils. Verb 5 is used with water here. Let's move to the next example. Tomatoes are red. Tomatoes, the subject is plural here, that's why are is used. And it's a fact. Tomato turns red when it is ripe. Next is ice is cold. Ice indicates the fact in relation to its coldness. So everyone says ice is cold. So we use is here as a fact. Let's move to next context, that is on present action. When we define ourselves or someone's profession and the then profession who is doing now, if you talk about the teacher who is teaching now, then his work is taken as present action. Sita is a teacher. She teaches the students. I have used teaches, as Sita is presently working as a teacher and her job is to teach, and so she teaches. We use simple present here. They are football players. They are professionally football players. They play football. Presently, their present action is to play. So, they play football. Gopal is a student. He studies in class 10. Gopal is the student of class 10. He studies in class 10. Now, I want to drive your attention to next context, that is scheduled action. Scheduled action indicates which is priorly informed and set at that very time in future. So, it's taken as reality. That's why we use simple present for scheduled actions. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli addresses the citizen at 2 p.m. on the radio today. That indicates the addressing time is scheduled at 2 p.m. That's why we use it with simple present, because all scheduled actions are the facts. SEE examination falls in Chaitra. Here, in case of Nepal, SEE examination, the final examination of class 10, is set in Chaitra. That is the fact. So, we use falls. We all know Dasai falls in Ashwin. Ashwin is the month when Dasai comes. So, it's a fact. Everyone believes Ashwin is the month for Dasai festival. Next example, the bus to Kathmandu from Kakarvita leaves at 4 p.m. Here, the scheduled time for the bus is 4 p.m. daily. So, we use leaves here, the verb 5. I'm hopeful you have listened to me clearly. We have discussed enough for the use of simple present. I know we all are locked down and staying at home. Now, how could we make our preparation for our forthcoming examinations purposeful through radio? So, this class is being done for class 8, 9 and 10. In today's class, we discuss about the use of simple present, and I have here some important points to recall your understanding about today's class. Let's have a look on things to remember. Number 1, there are two different verbs being used in simple present. Verb 1, like, call, invite, sing, and so on. Verb 1 is a plural form of verb used with plural subjects like we, they, you, but I is the subject that takes verb 1. So, I is taken as an exception. Now we can make the sentences. We invite them. They sing a song. You call me. I sing a song. Next verb is verb 5, which is used in simple present tense. Verbs like calls, invites, sings, and so on are verb 5s. Verb 5 is a singular form of verb used with singular subjects like he, she, it. Let's make the sentence. He calls me. She invites him. It follows me. It might be related to the dog, cat, or whatever, like animal. Here we have discussed about 4 different contexts for using simple present. Regular activities that you daily or regularly do in relation to present. I always take bath. She never invites me. Similarly, facts like universal facts and truths like ice is cold, earth revolves round the sun, etc. Present action. I am a singer. I sing songs. Sita is a dancer. She dances. And the 4th one is scheduled action, which is priorly scheduled that may take place in future, but if it is related to scheduled action, then we use simple present. We talked about K.P. Sharma Oli addresses the citizen at 2 p.m. on radio today. Dasai falls in Ashwin. Next, things to remember. Adverbs of frequency also indicate the regularity of actions like usually, often, always, seldom, never, and sometimes, etc. or so on. If we find, then we use simple present if they are related to present. And the last one I want to have a recall of today's class is the formation of verb 1 is due to the auxiliary verb do. That is, if I say I invite you, then that invite consists do with root invite. If I say he invites me, then that invites is with does and root form of invite. That's it for today. Now let's get the pens and copies for the assignments of today's class. I expect you all have pen and the copies to collect the questions for today. Sam does to school daily. The options are go, goes. You have to choose one among these. They dash football every day. They dash football every day. The options are play, plays. Next, moon dash at night. Moon dash at night. The options are sign, science. You have to choose one among these options. Now question number 4. Rajesh Hamal is an actor. Rajesh Hamal is an actor. He dash in films. He dash in films. Options are act, acts. Options are acts and act. Now question number 5. The first show of the film dash at 10 a.m. The first show of the film dash at 10 a.m. Options are start, starts, start, starts. Number 6. Ramesh often dash me to his party. Ramesh often dash me to his party. Options are invite, invites. You have to choose one among these verbs. And the final one here for your assignment is number 7. Barking dog seldom dash. Barking dog seldom dash. Options are bite, bites, bite, bites. I'm hopeful you'll attend these questions comfortably and follow radio school for other subjects as well. I'm Suvarna Bhatrai, the principal and English teacher from MET Public School, Barmelitol, Kakarvita, facilitated you with today's grammar. I'll come up with another session next. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thank you very much.
भाइ बहिनीहरु, आजका लागि सबै कक्षाहरु सम्पन्न भइसकेका छन्। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023-563-037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरु पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरुको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। भाइ बहिनीहरु, आजलाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल यति नै। तपाईहरु यी सबै कक्षाहरुको अडियो हाम्रो फेसबुक टाइमलाइनमा गएर दोहोर्याई सुनेर थप प्रश्न हुन सक्नुहुनेछ। भोलिको कक्षामा पुनः हाम्रो भेट हुनेछ। लकडाउनको बेला घरमै बसी कार्यक्रम सुनेर अभ्यास गर्दै पढ्दै गर्नुहोला है त। तबसम्मका लागि सबै विषय शिक्षकहरुको साथमा प्राविधिक साथी करिना पौडेल सँगै म जिआर धिताल पनि बिदा हुन्छु। नमस्कार।